Hi, I'm Dave Vickers and welcome to the Photo Show. In this episode, we're doing the sixth part of our basic photography course. Now, in the last 5 episodes of the basic photography course, we've covered quite a bit of ground. So I thought what I'd do in this 6th episode is just do a quick review of what we've learned so far before we move on to the next stage. And if you want to go back and look at things in more detail, you can check out any of the other 5 episodes. I'll put a link up here that will take you to the playlist of where we got to so far. So in the first episode, we were looking at how a camera works. And I was explaining that the way that cameras work has not really changed in over 100 years. The way that a camera would work in the 1920s is virtually the same as a camera would operate in the 2020s. The process for how a photograph is taken is exactly the same. And what we're explaining there is that light enters the lens on your camera, passes through an aperture, which can be opened and closed to control the amount of light that passes through it, which then reaches a shutter, which opens and closes for a specific amount of time to allow the light through to reach your image sensor to record an image. And the one principle that we've been looking at through all of this is that photography is basically controlling light to record an image. So that's the very basic process. Light enters the lens, passes through the aperture, reaches the shutter opens and closes, allows the light to reach the sensor to record the image. In episode 2, we were looking at shutter speed and explaining how shutter speed controls the amount of light that reaches the sensor, but it also controls the amount of time that is recorded. So a fast shutter speed opens and closes very quickly and records a very short space of time. A slower shutter speed opens and closes for a much longer period and therefore records a longer period of time. Episode 3, we were looking at aperture, and we were explaining how the aperture in the lens opens and closes to allow varying amounts of light to pass through. So the aperture was used to control the amount of light. By opening and closing your aperture, you're able to adjust the amount of light that reaches the sensor. We were also looking at the other side of aperture, which is how it controls the depth of field in your image. And the depth of field is basically how much of your image from front to back is in sharp focus. A deep depth of field means that everything from the foreground way into the background is in focus, and a shallow depth of field means that your subject is sharp and the background will be blurring away. So once again, recapping, shutter speed controls the amount of light that reaches the sensor, but also controls the amount of time that is recorded. Your aperture, once again, controls the amount of light that reaches the sensor, but also controls the depth of field within your image. So as you can see, you're starting to get control over the finished look of your image. Do you want an image that has a deep depth of field, but shows a long period of time? Or do you want an image that has a shallow depth of field and shows a very short period of time? Or any of the combinations of those things? This is where getting to know how your camera works will give you control over the finished look of your image and give you a more deliberate process to your photography. Rather than just picking up your camera, putting it on auto and taking a photo. You'll get a nice photo, but you're having no control over the look of the finished image. In the 4th episode, we were looking at ISO and explaining how ISO is how your image sensor is made more or less sensitive to light. A lower ISO number means your image sensor is less sensitive to light. A higher ISO number means it's more sensitive to light. And we were also looking at how if you use the higher ISOs, you may get more digital noise on your image. So the rule of thumb there was to try and use the lowest ISO possible for the lighting conditions that you're working in. So now we looked at the 3 parts of the exposure triangle. The shutter speed, which controls the amount of light that reaches the sensor, plus the amount of time that was recorded. The aperture, which controls again the amount of light that passes through the lens, but also controls your depth of field. And the ISO, which controls the sensitivity of your sensor and is your baseline setting depending on the lighting conditions you're working in. And in episode 5, what I decided to do was show you how you start to put all those things together. Your shutter speed, your aperture and your ISO to create a balanced exposure and start to have control over the look of your finished images. We were also looking at equivalent exposure settings, which was explaining that there's no one set of correct settings to get a good exposure. You can mix and match. You can have a faster shutter speed with a wider aperture, a smaller aperture with a slower shutter speed, a higher ISO number and a faster shutter speed, a lower ISO number and a wider aperture, and how you mix those things together. This not only shows you how to get the correct exposure, but how to use the constituent parts to control the way that your finished image looks. So if all of this is starting to make sense, congratulations, you've just learned how to control light to create a photograph. One of the reasons I'm doing this is a lot of the comments I get in the YouTube videos are questions that are really about basic photography. So if you can learn these absolute basics, your photography will just grow and grow from there on. And speaking of questions, if you have any questions on the last 5 episodes, please leave them in the comments below. I'd love to answer them. And with the lockdown, I've not got much else to do. So answering the questions on here has become a really important part of my day. So let me know if you've got any questions on what we've looked at so far. I'll answer them as quickly as I can, and possibly we'll do another video to explain those in more detail. In the next episode, we're going to look a little bit deeper into shutter speed and start showing you how you use shutter speed to record periods of time. So for now, I'm Dave Vickers. This is The Photo Show. Please stay safe and well, and we'll see you in the next episode.